Prince of Peace Entertainment brings to you the Clean Comedy Show.
Excuse me, my man, did you say a clean comedy show?
I did. Hosted by
Media and Cool TLC.
Starring comedians Just Misty, D-Hawk, Martini Harris, and Mr. Positive, Mark Reedy.
Special guest performance by Thessalonians.
That's Saturday, March the 16th, 2019.
That's the Providence Church, 24111 Rockwell Drive, Euclid Heights, Ohio, 44117.
Tickets are just $25 plus a buffet-style dinner. You can get that at the Providence Church, or you can call 440-494-6242.
Doors open at 6:15. Dinner will be served at 7 o'clock, and the show will start right after dinner. There will be vendors on location and giveaways. That's a Clean Comedy Show.
You said that before, right?
Yes, I did.
Okay, that's Saturday, March 16th, 2019. I better call and get my tickets now.
This is the Prince of Peace Entertainment Fundraiser.
Excuse me, can you tell me that number again?
Oh, geez. The number is 440-494-6242. Just pick up the phone. They're waiting right now.
Are we on the air?
You are now tuned into Elevations Radio, your station for uplifting lifestyle, wellness talk, and indie music radio.
Views expressed on shows are those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of the station, its management, or other advertisers. Use of these shows and all services provided therein are for personal use only. The Elevations Radio Network holds no responsibility for the validity or accuracy of information on these shows.
Hey fam, welcome to the Let's Be Real with Greg Bam Reaves show here on elevationsradio.com, home of the best indie music you'll find online and some of the hottest talk shows on radio. I am your host, Greg Bam Reaves, and it is Thursday. We're going to have a lot of fun today. And before we get started, this show is brought to you by Cat's Law LLC. That's www.catslaw.com. Located at 675 Northfield Road, Bedford, Ohio, 44146. That phone number is 216-313-0501. They specialize in personal injury, employment, and corporate law. And their services include free consultation, continued correspondence to keep you informed of the status of your case. Check out my man, Sergi Katz, and I plan to hear from him soon. Waiting on him to call in. But I'm really, really super excited for the guest I have today. We had tried to set up something about a month ago, but you know, patience is a virtue, and I'd like you all to welcome Brandon. I'm gonna get this right, Chrostowski.
Yeah, you got it. You nailed it.
Brandon Chrostowski. For those of you who don't know, he's a founder, owner of Edwins Leadership and Restaurant Institute. Also was a mayor candidate. And I was a big supporter of his too. I was like, God, nobody know enough about him yet. But so, yeah, he ran in the last election. And I was like, the next one, he'll get there. People know his name. A lot of people, I'd heard about Edwins a while ago. Mm-hmm. So first off, tell us how did Edwins get started? Where did that come from?
Yeah, it came from a break that I got when I was younger. Mm-hmm. So I was about 19 years old. This arrest happened outside Detroit. I was facing about 5 to 10 years in a prison, but got probation instead. Mm-hmm. And on this probation, I ended up meeting the chef in downtown Detroit, who ended up mentoring me, teaching me that it's not practice that makes perfect, but perfect practice makes perfect. Mm. And these strong fundamentals allowed me to get the heck out of Detroit and work literally all over the world. I mean, I went to school in New York, worked in the city of Manhattan, Paris, Chicago, you name it. And in about 2003, 2004, I kept getting these phone calls. There's 3 consecutive phone calls from back home from my chef. That was my mentor, and he told me that one of the young men got killed, one person got thrown in prison, the sous chef got murdered, and all these things compiled. And I said, there's got to be something I can do to make a difference with individuals like myself that he did. And so, you fast forward 10 years, and then that's when Edwins really started to happen. But I wrote a business plan in 2004 and just relentlessly worked on it, and just didn't give up. Yeah, it is.
So, were you always into cooking, or this mentor just got you interested in it?
Yeah, he really turned me on to it. I mean, that was 19 when I ran into him. By then, I probably had over 15, 16 jobs. I've always worked when I was younger, but bagging groceries, or worked at putting in pools and carpets, and a gas station, an ice cream shop. And I just like to have energy. I like to use it, but nothing ever got me hooked on what I wanted to do until I got into a kitchen. And I said, "This is where I need to be."
Yeah. So now. I watched the movie Knife Skills. Audience, if you haven't seen it, you got to check out Knife Skills. You can see it on YouTube. It's on Netflix. And it's a documentary about you and Edwins.
Yep.
And now, how did that come about? How did that get?
Yeah, that was Thomas Lennon. He's a filmmaker, a very, very celebrated documentarian, that I met in New York. We were having meatloaf with some friends, and he was one of the people at dinner. It was only like 6 of us. Okay. And he just asked about who I am, what I do, and what I plan to do. And I told him I'm going to open the best French restaurant in the country. I told him in Cleveland, which caught his attention first of all, and staffed and powered by those men and women returning out of prison. Yeah. And he just said, "Man, there has to be a film here." But the thing is, there's been probably at least a dozen. I say no to more media than I say yes to, but at least a dozen people have come to try to do a movie or this or that, a sitcom, a reality show. It's all just rubbish, and it never dignifies our work. But this man, having won Oscars and Peabodys, he's very, like I said, he's very smart. And so when he came and we talked, and he came through a friend, I trusted him, and it was as simple as a handshake. And he started filming, and 5 years later, we're on the red carpet in LA.
Yeah, it was definitely, and it was nominated for an Oscar. Great film. I loved it. Phone lines open at 440-252-0518. That's 440-252-0518. Now, tell us a little bit about the program itself. Like, can a person just come apply when they've gotten out of prison, or do you seek people while they're still in prison? How exactly does that work?
Yeah, you got on both ends. So the idea is have all access everywhere. So the program that started actually began in prison, 2011. Started teaching at Grafton Correctional Camp, and that program continues today. But we're also in 13 other prisons throughout Ohio. Okay. So someone can get connected with us in that program right now. Some people just fly as a kite, and we respond back, and that's happening all over the country now. So someone can really apply while they're incarcerated, and we can set them up on how to hit the ground as soon as you get out and get enrolled. The other way is just someone here in Cleveland or someone outside of prison say, "Hey, I want to get involved in Edwins." You simply go down to an organization called Passages. You put your name on a list.
With it. Yeah.
It's on 36th and Perkins. You put your name on a list, and the next thing you do, you get a call, and we'll interview you, and then we begin. So classes start every 2 months. It's a 6-month program, but the way we rotate classes, it's every 2 months begins, ends, or someone might switch from kitchen to dining room. So it's very accessible. We don't ask about previous offense. We don't ask about previous education, and we just meet you where you're at, and they said, "Let's roll." Now, if you don't want to work, well, it's not going to be a good fit.
Right. Yeah.
That's the other side of the coin.
Now, I know you're a very, very busy man. How hands-on are you in the program?
Yeah, every day. I'm 7 days a week. So I spend my mornings at the restaurant, and then I head over to the butcher shop. We just opened that a couple months ago. 2 months ago.
I was going to ask about that.
And then from there, I'm hitting back over to the restaurant and always there. That's how I know how to live. I don't know any other way.
Now, can you spot like a person that has talent? Like say I'm there. You probably need to wash dishes. Some people just can't, do everything. So.
There's a lid for every pot, right? And it's up to that person what they want to do. It's not. we can give you skill sets, but talent's I think a little bit overrated in this world. Versus hard work. It's really someone who's gonna grind this thing out, who's gonna be comfortable in discomfort. You know, they don't know what they're doing, but yet they're making it work, and they're figuring out a way to enjoy it. That's truly what you look for. You have an eye for grit, and then you challenge that person harder and harder and harder to see how much you can build up their mental strength to overcoming any obstacle.
Right. Yeah.
You know, that's the true knack for finding someone that works in this business and most businesses in life. Let's be honest. Yeah.
So, how successful have some of your graduates been? I mean, I know you keep in touch.
Yeah, we do. We do about 286 graduates now.
Wow.
286.
Wait a minute, you've been open how long?
The Institute at Shaker Square has been 5.5 years.
Wow.
Yeah, 5.5 years. So
That's
286 graduates. We have less than 1% recidivism. So success in terms of returning back, it just doesn't really happen often. So we count that as a success. How successful they've been in the business world? I mean, we got people who own, we got people who run, we got people who are lead line cooks. We're not here to determine what success looks like for someone, right? Yeah. But I mean, if you gauge it and like, is this is their career path? I mean, people are really succeeding. Yeah.
And for those of you that's not familiar with the term recidivism, it's the tendency of a convicted criminal to reoffend. And the rate in Ohio has been pretty high for a while. It's actually gone down a little bit. I mean, it's around 30%, the last numbers I've seen. So programs like this are needed and great. I mean, I'm a huge fan. So in the 6 months, what happens during this 6-month period that you're in the program?
Yeah, so you get it starts out tough. You know, you're asked to do more, right? And that's part of what we want to develop. So someone's learning like culinary math, which is memorization. It's looking at the business side of things, profit and loss statements. You know, how do you stay in business? Oh, wow. If you walk into a busy restaurant, my first thought is, are they running efficiently? Because they could be losing, right? It doesn't mean that they're making money. So it's really teaching these systems and how to calculate and how to put systems in place that keep you profitable. You're learning about the history of food. You're learning Serve Safe, which is safety and sanitation. Meanwhile, you're getting hooked up with a bank account and making sure you have an ID, health insurance. So these first couple of weeks really fly by. And if you make it out of those 3 weeks, then you get put either in the kitchen or the dining room. And you'll work in each side of the house for about three months after that. So you work every position. So you're going to host, you're going to bartend, you're going to serve, you're going to food run. Then you're going to go in the kitchen and work pastries and the grill and the saute station. So you get a whole perspective of this business at the highest level. Now at the butcher shop, you shoot out there for 2 weeks and learn how to break down a cow, a pig, how to smoke, how to do charcuterie, make sausage. Wow. The program's pretty intense, man. It's really intense.
Now, the butcher shop is on Buckeye?
Yeah, Buckeye and Southmoreland.
Okay. And now I got a coworker that told me she knew you. And she told me about Serenity. Yep. That's another part of Edwins.
So what's happening now? I mean, even especially since the Oscar nomination, that CNN Heroes piece really helped catapult this into a national spotlight. And we're getting calls all over the country. Last year alone, I went to 30 different cities, from Napa to New York and even down south. And what we're finding is people want to do this as well, but they don't know how. So what we do now is go to someone who's got a team, who has the funds to make this reality, and we help them put these dots together. And Serenity was the first down in Medina, and it was two judges who were sick of seeing they were in a drug court, and they were sick of seeing this revolving door of addiction. So they said, we want to open up this restaurant that's helping people who have an addiction and help them learn a skill and so on and so forth. So they reached out and said yes. We opened up a 4-star restaurant down there, and it's been doing quite well. The same thing's going to be happening on the west side. We're doing a little pizza shop for someone who has a homeless shelter down there, West Side
really?
Catholic Center. So they'll be popping off in June. May, June-ish, we'll see. But the trick is, every one of these shops, we have graduates employed running, right, or in a position of making decisions. So now our grads are really passing on that torch. So Serenity is an extension of what we do with someone else's need and helping them make it happen.
So Serenity.
Yes, Serenity.
Okay.
Serenity.
Now, Edwins is French cuisine, correct?
Yes, yep.
And Serenity is what?
French.
Same thing?
Yeah, a little more country French, yeah.
So the thing I love about your model is you just broke it down for me. I didn't even know this part of it, that you're teaching them business as well as how to cook. So this model could translate into other areas, like auto mechanic, for example.
Yep.
Right.
Demolition, construction, banking, hospitals. I mean, who say couldn't work in government? I mean, it can work anywhere.
Right.
It's about meeting someone where they're at and building a curriculum that teaches whatever skill set it is to the top, and making sure you're offering support from the sides. You know, that's the magic formula, and just driving that, and not stopping. Wow,
that is great. So, and you wrote this business plan in 2004 and opened up in what year?
The prison started in 2011. The restaurant was 2013.
Because I remember when it got there, and I was hearing about it, but just hearing about it, I didn't really know. Oh, I thought we had a call. Phone lines over there at 440-252-0518. That's 440-252-0518. Now, I was trying to hold on to this, but I'm going to have to get to it in a minute. For those of you that saw my video earlier, I am having a contest. You can win a dinner for two at Edwins if you can answer a question from the documentary Knife Skills. It's really a simple question. So if you haven't watched it, go watch it real quick. Call us in. Call in. No, well, I can't give it away. But I'm looking for the answer in my pocket. I think I know it by heart, though. So you say a pizza shop on West 25th. I've been working with the homeless for a long time. Right now, I'm in another field, but I think that's an excellent location. Did somebody came to you with that, or?
Yeah, I just reached out. The shelter right now is one of the only few family shelters out there in Cleveland, and they acquired a building with an old restaurant in the base store of it. And they say, "What do you think?" I said, "Man, I think you should open a damn restaurant and start to employ those that you're serving." And that's where the ball started got rolling. And again, it's a slow reveal, but it seems to be happening. It's happening. With excitement. People in the neighborhood are excited about it. Yeah,
I would think so. That area, it could use it for sure.
Yeah, and it's actually off. It's like on 32nd and Lorraine, so it's right off. It's off at 25th.
Okay.
25th.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
So, I want to ask about running for mayor. Where did that come from?
Just seeing the lack of care or inefficiency or skill set or desire, whatever it might have been, that people of Cleveland are still perishing. Right? They're not thriving as they should, or as a higher power would intend to. Right? I mean, everyone's supposed to fulfill their potential and do great things, and we're not facilitating an environment for that to happen. And just to see, I'm thinking, I look at the clock and I say, man, we've been doing this for 3-4 years and making a difference. We got housing, we got housing on, we got a whole campus. We got, we got things that we're moving on, and it's how could the city just still neglect those that live in it? And I just got frustrated. My wife said, I don't know, just maybe calm down, do this, do that. And I was just hot. And I said, I'm going to run against this guy. He's just got to be gone. And that was really the whole push behind it, was just seeing the constant neglect, and that someone wasn't stepping up to fight that back.
And that's exactly what I thought when I saw your name on the ballot. I'm like, this dude is doing a lot with ex-felons. Just imagine what he could do for a whole city. Because it's not like there's no money here. We've shown that when LeBron was here. We were spending money left and right. So I really, really admire. Are you running again?
I don't think so. I mean, I'd say I got my knees deep in all this, the expansion of what we're doing. And, it's a long, I don't mind hard work. But, put my wife through that, and then you think about the financial side of things. It's not like it's free to do this, and run that campaign. It's not like Edwins. People throw a lot of money at this project because they see the success. It's nonpartisan. When you get into politics, people are like, I don't know, Brandon. We like you, but we like the other guy. And so it's just a different ball game. So I don't know that I would go through it again unless there was some big money boys out there that said, hey, let's get together and do it.
The way you're expanding, I can't see that not happening. I mean, wait a minute.
Politics.
You said, yeah, of course. You said you had a campus now, because I had heard I don't know if I read it or heard it, that you got a apartment complex.
Correct.
It's like dorms.
Yeah, we got dorms. So it's essentially free housing for our current students.
Wow.
It's 22 beds, a 3-story building. Next door is the alumni house, so grads can pay $200 to live there. But
wow.
There's 8 beds. Then we got a fitness center, library, test kitchen, basketball court. It's a college campus. Yeah.
And this is close to Edwins?
It's right on Buckeye. Yeah, right on Buckeye. So we got 4 buildings now in Buckeye, Southmoreland.
Wow.
It's amazing.
Yeah, no, I'm sitting here like in awe. That is amazing. And now, how is the outreach in the prisons? Like, okay, you said you're in 11 prisons now, right?
13 now.
Oh, 13? Okay. Yeah. And I just need to explain this because I'm being real simple right now. But it's not like it's just guys that work in the kitchen in prison. Anybody that's interested in this can.
Correct, yeah.
And they have to, go to a counselor or something there to...
We just post a sign-up sheet.
In prison,
yeah.
Like,
we just post a sign-up sheet and the word spreads. And as long as the, the CO or the warden says, that this person can do it, then why not start? So we hold a class of about 25. And these are inmate-led classes. We don't have capacity to send an instructor to every prison. You go down to Lima, right. You go to Toledo, next thing you know, you're Chillicothe. Those are a whole day's worth of driving. So we empower 2 inmates to lead a class of 25. And we work with them via JPay, via the telephone. And we just make sure that we're getting people who are experienced in cooking, and they teach a 26-week curriculum that's pretty much the foundation of what we do. And that's how it begins. That's how the course goes.
Okay. Do you have to be close to getting out to get involved?
No,
okay.
No. We know everyone's got potential, and sometimes the greatest gift is someone passing through and someone who's not coming home, and they can pass on a lesson that helps that person passing through. Mm-hmm. So I'm very cognizant that there's still potential to fulfill even for someone on a life sentence.
Yeah. Now, being an ex-felon myself, I know the hardest part for me was the last month or so when you're about to go home. Because, for one, there are people there that are angry with you because you're leaving there not. And 2, the pre-release program is a joke. So having something like that, because even when I was in there, they took away college degrees. People were angry that you could get a college education, get a degree while you're locked up, which I'm like, isn't it supposed to be rehabilitation? So anyway, I think it's great that it's a program that you can get involved in and know that when you get out here, you have something to go toward. So you have any new projects besides the pizza thing?
We got that, and that's brewing. Working in Pittsburgh on a project, Geneva, Lorraine. I mean, there's all sorts of stuff kind of on the boiler. Getting out to different areas and regions to help speak and inspire. That's always a constant. Our students drive a lot of ideas and projects. So they're out there doing their own thing, or saying, hey, can we try to look at this and try to do that? This year we'd like to send 3 students to Paris on a trip, for a couple of days to see what it's really like over in the old world. There's always something going on, and when there's a will, there's a way. We just got to get people, informed and educated.
Yeah, I saw at the beginning of Knife Skills, the chef was showing like a map of different areas.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool. So you give like history lessons on the food too. Yeah,
we talk just about. I mean, not too deep, but we just just get to understand the ground that we're walking on, where it kind of originated from, and how and why, and that's the extent.
Okay, I'll go.
What led you to have a thing for French cuisine? Like, what made you focus on that?
I was just about to say that. I was just going to say that.
Yeah, so I mean, the French cuisine. I mean, that's what I learned from my mentor was the fundamentals of French, and then you look at this. This cuisine, it teaches all the basics for every cuisine. So if you know how to, there's ratios like to make a stock, right? It's 8 pounds of bones, 6 quarts of water, and a pound of mirepoix, which is onions, carrots, celery. Now that you got that ratio, and if you know the technique to make a stock, you can make stock anywhere in the world. So it's things like that that go for pie doughs or sauces or cooking techniques. I mean, when you have these foundations and fundamentals, you can do it anywhere, and then the French cuisine does it like no other. So from 5 sauces come every other sauce that exists, and then you learn how to make those mother sauces. then you can go to an Italian restaurant and maybe make something that they make and have confidence with how you're making it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really why it's what I know, and then it's also it really teaches those core principles.
I was thinking along the same lines, but I was actually going to ask, where did the pizza shop come from? When all your other restaurants are French cuisine.
Well, I mean, it was an old pizza shop. It seems to be they've got all the equipment there that's necessary.
Oh, okay.
And it's just it's kind of it's a lesser investment for that person who still wants to make a change in the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
And we can help build and design and do all that stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So phone lines open at 440-252-0518. What I didn't tell you all is the question that I have that you could win dinner for two at Edwins is, who is the chef in knife skills? I know, it's a trick question. But it says it. I mean, it's like a little thing that says who the chef is. So, everybody hurry up, get to YouTube, check out Knife Skills. No, it really, really is a great documentary. Mm-hmm. So what was it like on the red carpet?
It was all right. I mean, it was there's nothing ever like this. I mean, I couldn't even imagine it. So first of all, there's two red carpets. There's one for like the general and people in admission, which is very selected. I mean, they're you cannot buy a ticket like on StubHub to this event. You have to have a name on the list, and it has to be just checked because it's invite only. Okay. And that's like that's where like 95% of people go. And the other like red carpet is the one for the nominees. So I was able to walk the nominee carpet, which was extraordinary. So it's about 50 yards of just bleachers, right? Wow. And the bleachers, 6 or 7 bleachers high, are all media. Mm-hmm. The first one has like cameras and print and magazines. The next one has like television. The next one is radio. They got people from Ghana. They got people from London. They got people from Australia. Wow. So you've got 50 yards of over probably 1,000 people in the media in bleachers. And it's like, and you just walk slowly. Each one, and they, you pose, you say hi, you get, you soundbite, and that's it, man. So it's an exhilarating, it's an exhilarating 5 minutes that will probably never happen again. I don't know that, these things just don't happen. Like you don't intend to do them. But I'm very grateful for the opportunity, then getting to meet some of the people that a lot of people look up to, right? And speak to them as humans and tell them about a film that they should watch and a mission that hopefully that touches them.
Now, did you notice a difference before the documentary and after with Edwins?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, absolutely. I mean, we get people from Juneau, Alaska, Pasadena, Fort Lauderdale. They come from all over. I mean, in the Midwest, they just drive. They come to the restaurant to eat. But you got people flying for a day or so to eat at this restaurant and experience what they saw in film. So you definitely noticed a further reach. And of course, you're busy. I mean, how many people go to Oscars in Cleveland, right. Cleveland, Ohio, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, have any big stars reached out to you? You want to be a part of Edwins?
We've had some. I mean, there's some people who kind of find a bit of solitude in what we do. I mean, there's some some big name chefs that are going through some stuff, and they come in our kitchen. We don't ever announce who they are or what they're doing, and you kind of just you find what it's about, and we've had a lot of that. We've had big name. I've been on a couple of big shows, and people take notice and promote it in that way. But no one said like, "Hey, man, I want to put our name behind this and do this in a star-studded way." Right? Yeah. You don't have like Danny Glover saying, I'm gonna be on this."
Right. That is. Wouldn't that be nice?
You never know.
Yeah. Because I thought about you all when I first heard about not when I first heard about it, but talking about the My Brother's Keeper program that President Obama had started. And I was wondering if they were involved in any kind of way, or I don't know, because I don't know exactly what they do.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that organization well. Politically, I mean, it's always a bipartisan issue. I mean, I've seen a lot of support from our Republican politicians getting behind what reentry means. It's amazing. I don't have television, but I know enough to know what's going on in perception and politics, this and that. But I mean, the people you wouldn't think are likely to help out with things like reentry are the ones who are contributing the most, not just financially, but with whatever weight they can push legislatively. It's been an amazing experience. It really has been.
Do you think that you can stay away from politics with what you do? I mean, it seems like it's going to automatically just always.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you can keep an arm's reach. You just tell people stay out of space. This is not, we're not going to let you in our clubhouse kind of thing. I mean, that's easy to draw those lines, but I think that when you find someone's intentions to be pure, that's the individuals I like to work with, regardless of who they are, what they look like, affiliations to parties. Mm-hmm. If someone just wants to see another human get better, well then, damn it, why not help that happen?
Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly.
So do you have any like events coming up?
Mm-hmm. We got a couple. We got the next event. We got St. Patty's Day coming up. We got the butcher shop. We'll sell a lot of corned beef. There's also there's a hog breakdown class we'll be having end of March.
Hog breakdown.
Yeah, you come in. We'll show you how to break down a hog, make some sausage. And, if someone who loves to cook, they like to do this.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah. That's me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I have a question before we go to break. Mm-hmm. Let me turn my mic on a second. I was going to have a mental health question.
Right.
I'm a therapist also.
Okay.
So I know that there's trauma with incarceration.
Mm-hmm.
So do you have any services connected with your restaurant to help with those issues so that they can successfully transition into the community?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the support there is pretty immense, and it's all boutique, which makes us a lot different. So we got what you call a case manager. It sounds like I hate that word, case manager. What is a case?
That's what I am. That's what I do for a living.
Yeah, but it's so much more than just, right? It seems so sterile. Mm-hmm. So this person is like really caring for someone else and helping them connect those dots. If we find someone needs mental health services, or maybe they need rehabilitation from drugs and alcohol, we're going to make that connection with someone with the highest level of quality, right? So if it's psychologists or psychiatrists, we have people in our pocket that we can call, and they'll treat you privately and talk to or we can go to some place like Recovery Resources or Centers for Family and Children. I mean, there's so many good resources in Cleveland that we don't have to duplicate, but on hand, I've got to have a case manager on hand all the time to help, whatever that barrier is. If it's not mental health, maybe it's this or maybe it's that. We've got so many attorneys who help out pro bono. Yeah, it's amazing when you see if someone comes there and says, "This is what I'm struggling with." We'll have probably half dozen to a dozen people who can assist right now. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We got to take a quick break, but you just sparked another question. I can't wait to get back from break. Phone lines are open at 440-252-0518. And remember the question to win dinner for two, first caller, dinner for two at Edwins. Who was the head chef in the movie Knife Skills? The documentary, Knife Skills. Knife Skills. Am I saying nice?
I'm Carol Johnson from Burlington, North Carolina, and I listen to Let's Be Real with Greg Bam Reaves Thursdays from 6 to 7 p.m. on Elevations Radio.
Whoa! Awaken my spirit, free my soul. Take the road less traveled when you got nowhere to go. All paths lead right to me. Ain't nobody telling me where I gotta be. You ain't my grave digger. You ain't my grave digger. They crushed my mind, broke my heart, forced me to my knees and ripped my world apart. But I won't let them tear me down. Pick myself back up and keep my feet on the ground. You ain't my grave digger. You ain't my grave digger. You ain't my grave digger. Yeah. You got it wrong, you're wrong. It's been too long. Somebody reach out, somebody listen. I'm
back on the Let's Be Real with Greg Bam Reaves show here on elevationsradio.com. I am joined by the owner, founder of Edwins Leadership and Restaurant, Brandon Chrostowski. Did I say that right?
You got it.
Okay. Yeah, so we're back from break, and I'm going to hold that question for a minute. Phone lines are open at 440-252-0518. That's 440-252-0518, and we do have a contest to win dinner for two. If you could tell me the head chef in the documentary, Knife Skills. Mm-hmm. Now, D is your, what is his title?
Oh, he's my right hand.
Okay.
That's it.
His right hand just called me and informed me that you were just honored by the Southern Christian Leadership Conference.
Yeah.
Yeah, so tell us about that.
Yeah, Reverend Cavanis, he had, I guess he had some ideas up his sleeve and decided to give an award for, I think it was industry innovator, so some sort of recognition just for the work that's done. You know, the idea is not to do this project to win awards and do all that.
Right,
the idea is just to do the work. And it was actually a surprise. I said, I mean, no one else got this last name, so I knew they had the right guy. But I thought that was really a real sweet gesture by him.
That is great.
And the SCLC. That's think about the history of that organization.
Exactly.
Back to MLK and beyond. It's incredible. Yeah.
Oscars, honors by the Southern. I mean, you are really doing it. So,
well, tell my wife's very. I appreciate my wife all the time. I'll never forget. There's a couple times. So I got the call from Lennon, the filmmaker. He goes, Brandon. He goes, Brandon. He goes, we're going to the Oscars. We've got nominated. We did it. Mm-hmm. I said, Tom, that's great. And then as soon as I have the phone, my wife just gives to me, this isn't done, blah, blah, blah. So I never lose sight. I'm never not grounded.
Keeps you grounded,
so
right?
No matter what award or honor, I still got to take out the trash. I still got to take, there's still things that, that remind me that, I'm still, I'm not there.
I keep bringing up the film because I love it, but there's this one scene you're actually giving a message to your son.
Yeah.
And you kind of lose it. Mm-hmm. And how difficult was that? I mean, to open up the way you did.
Yeah.
Because I remember the part that really got me, you told the cameraman or whoever, dude, if I could say it, I would.
That was Tom. Yeah, it was Tom. Yeah.
And that let me know that this was real. This wasn't acting. This wasn't what Mr. Kelly just did. Okay, I shouldn't have did that. Anyway, how difficult was it to open up like that?
Yeah, I mean, well, it wasn't. No, first of all, that part was not supposed to be put in the film. I just gave a commencement speech at University Schools. It's a private school out there, I think, in somewhere east, like Moreland Hill or something like that. And they asked me to come out and give their commencement speech for high school graduation. I did, and I didn't know what I was getting into, so I really shot from the hip. But it seemed to resonate with these kids. It was just basically like, kids, you're gonna screw up, and when you do, it's okay.
Yeah.
Just learn from it and move forward, but don't be ashamed. And I told these kids they also don't have to go to college. Mind you, this is probably the number one preparatory school in the state.
Definitely.
Their kids go. Their kids go to Harvard, Yale. So I could feel the faculty, eyes on my back, like, what are you telling these kids? But it was a truth. Who's to say that you have to do this or have to do that? It was, so to go on, the kids they applauded. The headmaster said they never do this. They did it. So I felt very very proud. I wanted my son to hear that speech, and but he was only 3 months old, right? So that's not going to happen. So when Tom came into town that weekend, I said, "Listen, do you mind if I record a little message to my son that we can give him at some point in time? It's not to be put in the film, okay?" And he said, all right. So we were just just kicking it, just talking. And he goes, after this, he was the one holding the camera. He did all the filming himself, right? He was He couldn't see. He was crying, so the sound guy, he had to help direct him on focusing. But afterwards, he said, he goes, his tears in his eyes, goes, Brandon.
You gotta put it in there.
He goes, Brandon, I'm gonna fuck you on this one. just so you know, I'm gonna have to do it. It was just too good. So I said, Tom, it's not my goal, but if you think it makes it more powerful to someone else. So then you fast forward to the first time I saw it, Traverse City, the film festival, Michael Moore. I said, Tom, I don't like that scene, man. It just makes me look soft. I don't like it. He goes, Brandon, he goes, But then there was a man that saw it in prison, and he wrote me a letter, and he says, and I don't think he's coming home. He goes, I know now that no one's perfect, and that people do make mistakes, and that's okay. It happens. And he feels like after that he could live a life of understanding that it's not a life lost. And after he said that in that letter, based upon that scene, I had no problem with that scene.
Yeah, it's powerful.
I said, that's all right. That's all right by me.
Yeah, it's really powerful. I mean, I didn't cry because I don't cry.
Yeah.
But no, seriously, it is a powerful. I think it kind of brought everything home. You watch the journeys of the different people at Edwins, but that one scene kind of brought everything home to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm telling you all, watch Knife Skills. I'm going to mention it over and over again. And go to Edwins, obviously. And what is the address there?
Yeah, 13101 Shaker Square. So right in that corner.
Now, the butcher shop, it's actually, it's like a store I can go in and buy?
Yeah. You can buy fresh meats. You can get ribs or a brisket, a burger. Oh. It's got prepared food. It's got raw food. We got beer and wine and spices. So it's a shop for any budget with any palate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's really special.
And the address there?
That's 13024 Buckeye. Yeah.
Okay. Yep. We're going to repeat those addresses before the show is over because you got to end Serenity.
Yep.
The address there.
Yeah, that's 538 West Liberty Street. That's down in Medina, Ohio.
Now, Serenity, these bill collectors just keep calling me during my show. Anyway, Serenity, you might have mentioned this already, and I apologize if you did.
Yeah.
Is it the same setup as Edwins?
Yeah, virtually. I say virtually. It doesn't have like the housing or the strength in the auxiliary services yet. Right? Mm-hmm. It's about a year young. But it has the same principle behind it of teaching someone who wants a skill to the highest level, and that's those in the recovered community, and it's done through a way that the community can access it. Right, it's accessible to those in the community, so you can support a cause that you believe in fixing, right, or participating in.
Do you get any like pushback from people that don't like to see people succeed? You know what I mean?
I haven't felt that. There's dog whistles out there all the time. It goes on. You know what happens. It hasn't been like in the face. There's still some local foundations that don't support what we do, which is beyond me. Except that they don't believe that someone out of prison should get a fair shake. Mm-hmm. So silently, I think it happens. There's not like those vocal crowds. Now that's in Cleveland. Now, Medina, right? This is a totally different area, man. It's just like couldn't be two different worlds. It is. It's two different worlds. Mm-hmm. They pushed back the city officials. Their city officials didn't want to see this happen. They were vocal about it. Not my backyard. We don't have problems here. And that was kind of like the dialogue of the local city officials. And every year, 10% more people die of overdoses in Medina. And so the county got it. Right? The county saw it from a larger perspective, but the local city officials in Medina were just not, they didn't want to have it happen. And so we had to fight.
Wow.
We had to fight to keep those doors open. And they tried to revoke a liquor license. They tried to do everything they could possibly, and they didn't succeed. And now this is the only 4-star restaurant down there.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's life.
Now, when Knife Skills first came out, Edwins was a 3-star. What is it now?
It's still 3-star. You get reviewed once, but every 5-10 years.
Yeah, I don't know how the star system works.
Yeah, it's subjective. It's subjective. If you were to look on any, New York Times gave us a pretty good review. Washington Post is pretty much the best place in town. We've got. We shoot high. The star system is always subjective, especially there's different reporters. There's different stars. Some people say it's 5, some people say it's 4, some people. So, but we hit hard. It's the best fine dining French experience, and I'd say definitely in the state, if not the Midwest.
Okay.
Yeah, people don't have what we got in our menu. They just don't.
Right. Yeah. And I've checked out the menu. A lot of food I can't pronounce, but it all looks good. So I got to ask you about the race thing.
Yep.
Because one thing I noticed. Again, I'm referencing the movie.
Yeah.
Most of your workers are African American. Not all of them. There are some other, but you notice that's like the disparity of.
Yeah. Oh, you can't.
I don't even know how to
Yeah.
ask that question. It's just.
Yeah, no, I mean it's disproportionate. You know, black and brown people are incarcerated much more than those are white. I mean, if you look at percentage-wise, right? I mean, you look at the 40% population, but the representation in the country is like 25%. 20. How does that happen, right?
Yeah.
It's definitely disproportionate. I mean, we know it exists. If you're not addressing it or at least acknowledging it, then you're delusional.
Right.
I mean, it's just something that. That's just something that our society has concocted and is still continuing. It's going to take years and lifetimes to undo that. Civil rights was one step in this story. It's going to take a couple more chapters to really complete the book, but it's what it is. I mean, I came from a city where I was a minority, right? I mean, I went to countries where I couldn't read, write, or speak. I mean, I understand what it's like to be a foreigner. I mean, I've been kicked around, and poverty doesn't know color lines. I mean, I've been down.
That's that right.
I've been down and out. I mean, I've been down. And I get it. I mean, so I think it's just I understand if you just meet someone where they're at and understand their potential is limitless, and just empower that. That's really the story that we speak to. I'm not getting involved in justice reform and saying that judge should have done this. Overall, these laws need to be rewritten. I mean, these laws need to be rewritten. And take it out of the human's judgment's hand and make it kind of like an official. You cannot do this if they only did that. I think that's a starting point. But I mean, I'm really here at the end of that dialogue when someone's released or someone's incarcerated. I believe that's where my purpose is at. So I don't get involved in the whole front end thing.
Right.
I'm just here to help someone get to where they want to go afterwards.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, were you born in Detroit?
Yeah.
Okay, I got a lot of family that's listening. Hey, little family in Detroit. So,
right.
What area in Detroit are you from?
Outer Drive in Van Dyke. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know where that is.
That's all right. That's all right.
Only street I remember in Detroit is Littlefield because my cousin's last name were Little. So I was like, I think it's on the west side of Detroit, but whatever. Yeah. That's all I can remember. So you have any plans to do anything there?
No. I mean, this is a lot, man. I mean, to run this program is I'm 7 days a week, 80, 90 plus hours. I mean, this doesn't like run itself without people behind it. Everyone on my team 60 plus hours. I mean, they're spinning their tails, and there's never a down moment. But I mean, you have to understand if you get into this and understand this, right? It takes a greater equal amount of force. That's basic physics to move any object. Now, if we're trying to move these, this difficulty of returning home and the problems that poverty is causing, that's a lot of weight you have to move. So we have to move with a greater equal amount of force. So I just think it's natural to this is what it is, and hopefully the next lifetime it gets easier, and then someone can work a little bit less, or maybe make it more accessible to build projects like this. They're still very costly. I mean, payroll every 2 weeks is $45,000. I'm shelling out. It's a lot. It's a lot. Yeah. So you got to find out ways to make sure the business is right, the fundraising is right. It never ends. And I just hope one day that someone could more easily do something like this that can serve a purpose for others. And it's just, again, that's what trailblazers do.
Right. So it doesn't get any easier for you.
Oh, and if it did, you'd look at the mountain, you say, man, we still got a long way to go.
Yeah.
And I think we can say that until the day we die, that this will never be complete.
It
can never be complete.
And that's the thing. A lot of what we do, it's never going to be complete, but you do it anyway.
Bingo. Bingo.
Now, phone lines are open at 440-252-0518. That's 440-252-0518. I'm telling you this right now. You don't call in and get this gift certificate. Me and my producer will gladly go to Edwins and get this dinner for two. You looking at the menu? So we are looking for the head chef in the movie Knife Skills. The head chef. Okay? So, my lawyer didn't call in today. I have one of my sponsors, Cat's Law, that I said earlier today. Similar story to yours. He got in a little trouble when he was younger, but didn't wind up, having to go to jail and decided to become a lawyer.
Wow.
So it's just a lot of similar stories out there like that.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And
Yes, is it lots of chunks of lobster?
Yep.
I'll be there. Oh, you got a phone call.
Well, maybe you won't be there now.
Yeah, right.
You won't be there now.
Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? Oh, wait a minute. Caller? What? Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Out there like that. Yeah.
Yes, you're on the air.
Hello?
Yes.
Well,
You got to cut your radio down a little bit.
okay. Wait a minute, hold on. Let me find. Talking to the wrong person here.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I was just, this is Steve's mom calling, and I'm just calling to let everybody know that they really should try Edwin's Butcher Shop. I have not had meat like that in years. And I've been there for the past 3 months.
Okay.
And everything is, you can get anything and everything made to order. Just terrific.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing a wonderful job, and the people that he's trained, they're very professional when you go in there, and that's what I like about it.
Mm-hmm. And this is the butcher shop you're talking about.
Yeah, the butcher shop.
Nice. Well, thank you. Thank you for that support, and I couldn't agree with you more. That I mean, we cut it fresh. It's right off that animal onto that that display case.
So do you want to give her the ticket?
No, you know what? See, what's your name again?
No, I didn't get. Well, I'm Dee's mom. Edwin know who I am.
Yeah.
Oh well, I can't. You can't win the dinner for two then.
Yeah, that's right.
I know. I was going to win the dinner for two.
I know. My producer suggested I give you the tickets as you called in, but you're family connected. You don't.
Yeah, you can give me tickets. I'd appreciate it. So what I would do is give them to somebody else that I thought deserved them too.
Mm-hmm.
Almost. I surely appreciate your call.
All right, now, Miss Drain.
Well, and I appreciate Edwin too. Have a good evening.
We'll see you.
Now, one thing I didn't ask that was revealed in the documentary, Knife Skills, where the name Edwin came from. Edwins.
Yeah, so it's got two very special meanings. My middle name is Edwin, and that's my grandfather's his name. Mm-hmm. So ever since I was young, I wanted when I got into cooking, I said, man, I want to open a restaurant called Edwins. So that was always in my head. And then as life took its course, this Edwin really became known as Education Wins. Really this belief, this mantra that if you can educate, you can overcome, you can win.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Another thing I noticed from the film.
Yep.
Some people may drop out, but you welcome back in.
Yeah. Hey, we know someone is not ready. We don't always get it right in the first time, right? That's just life. And so if someone had the right attitude, just maybe it wasn't the right time for them, well then come on back, right? We can finish it up. We can get it done. You know how that. Everyone's gone through that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you make them wait a certain amount of time, or?
It depends. It depends on what it was. If it was they work on themselves, maybe it's going to take a little bit longer. If it's something that is, they had to take care of business or themselves or their family, well, whenever the next class begins, you can come back in. So it all depends on the circumstance. Yeah.
Now, what you mentioned earlier, the case management. I know I don't really like that phrase either, but that's on site. Like, what?
Yep.
Are they have it available for them like after hours?
Yeah, whatever. We go 24/7. Someone needs something at a certain point. They're calling her up and getting it done. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's always accessible. There are office hours that we keep. It's like usually 9 to 5 that someone's there.
Yeah.
But that phone's always on. You know how it is, right?
Oh yeah,
the phone's always ringing.
I was about to say it's ringing right now. No, but I'm just. This is so amazing to me because. Not only are you helping people coming home from prison, which we definitely need more programs, definitely more, because we got so many coming home every year in the state of Ohio, but the food is good.
Yep.
So wait, I got my order ready. Hold on. Let's see if I can pronounce these. I took French since high school, but I know I want the lobster bisque or bisque.
Yeah.
Big
Big to Home Art.
Okay. And then you got this grilled seafood sausage.
Ooh, that's the number one seller.
Oh my gosh.
That's good.
Wait a minute, grilled seafood sausage?
There goes your gift certificate.
Right.
In homage to David Waltuck, and there's lobster, whitefish, scallops, shrimp, and pine nuts with the shallot beurre blanc.
Yeah.
Good
That's
job.
killer. That's big. That's number one seller.
And then the creme brulee. Yeah, that's good. So when I get my pennies together,
Right.
that's what I'm coming
Well, you
with.
know, when I looked over the menu, the prices were not that expensive. Not like I thought it would be.
Yeah, that's not over. You know, if you went to like a, I would challenge someone to go to any like these Ruth Chris. I mean, you get more bang for your buck here. You're going to spend less and get a better experience. And I think, you know, sometimes you go to Applebee's and you say, oh, it doesn't cost that much. And the next thing you know, you leave and you've already spent $30, $40.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, that's true.
I mean, you can still.
That is true.
You can still do something nice, you know, at Edwins. So we're not out of reach. You know, the butcher shop's a much more accessible price point, right? You can get a bologna sandwich for $2, $10 for ribs, a rib dinner. You know, there's the price point for everyone who wants to partake.
How long they stay open? I might have to go there after the show.
7 p.m.
Okay. Oh gosh, I have to go before the show next time.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, that just threw me off. I was about to ask you something. And, who designed the decor? Because I mean, just judging from the pictures, it looks really, really
sweet,
nice in there.
Yeah, these two gentlemen, Chris and Brett. I came to them with this idea. I said, I want to, warm and comfortable and an old world and this and that. And then they start, flipping and then it's like, that's it. Let's do it. And that's it.
From those pics, it looks really nice. I just saw a video before I came here to the show today. There's a guy in D.C., not too far from the White House. He's an immigrant too. He designed this like gorgeous restaurant, and he feeds the homeless for free every day.
Wow.
And it just, it's just so odd that I saw that on the way to come to do this show. So both of you, well, a lot of you are doing some great things, and I really, really appreciate it. And I really appreciate you coming to the show today.
You're welcome.
I wish I could get you to run for mayor one more time, but I get it. I understand. But I mean, you could. Oh, the address to the butcher shop.
Yeah, 13024 Buckeye. Yeah, 13024.
And address to Serenity.
Serenity is 538 West Liberty Street, Medina, Ohio.
Okay.
I didn't get that at all.
Yeah.
Say it one more time.
538 West Liberty Street, out in Medina.
And I probably didn't spell it correct. How do you spell that?
Yep. The restaurant, Serenite.
Okay. All right. You got 1.5 minutes?
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Well, anyway, thank you again so much for coming out and spending an hour with us on the Let's Be Real show.
No, it was a pleasure, man. It was a good time, and I see you got the flower shop next door, which is pretty cool. Hey, man, I love that. I love one of those flower shops. I mean, I don't know much about it. I kill all the plants I have.
Yeah, I'm not.
But it's always nice to go by and wonder, man,
I don't have a green thumb at all.
Yeah.
I'll forget to water a plant, and my mother was great at it, but I'm not at all.
That's funny.
So I need all of you to watch Knife Skills. I've said it enough times in the past hour that you should want to go see it because it's a great documentary for real. And go to Edwins on Shaker Square, go to the butcher shop on Buckeye, and go to I can't say it, Serenity in Medina.
All right. Thank
you. And that's our time for today. We're about to get out of here. And like I always say, develop your hunger for knowledge and feed it. Pick up a book and read it. Set a goal and see it through. And always, always believe in you. Peace and love, fam.
This is all new to me. It's always been about us ever since I found you. I was you and you was me. We had the kind of love that everyone was proud of. Oh, it's